All right, this is the 1986 Toyota 4Runner factory turbo in all original medium blue on factory turbo blue interior. The wheels were redone, had those repowder coated and then the lips cut. At the same time, the BFG all-terrains were added. These have about 250 miles on them. Looking at the suspension, front sway bar links were just done. Did the Bilsteins when I got the truck. I've gone through and just done some odds and ends bushings as well, just as things get noticed or they come up under inspection. Graphics down the side are the factory turbo ones. You'll notice they've got a little bit of wear here and there, but still in pretty good shape all around. Rear suspension did the new leaf springs as well as the Bilsteins on the back. You'll see up top the hardtop has been repainted. And the B-pillar emblems there are not OEM, but they are milled out of aluminum and paint filled. Kind of wanted to go with something a little more, I suppose, rugged. Rear bumper was straightened and re-chromed. The ends are still the original ones, very difficult to find the ends. All the emblems on the back, including the automatic sticker, is original. I've got the sticker there, paying homage to Lake Tahoe, because that is where the truck came out of and spent most of its life. Coming around the side here, I did restore all the mud flaps at one point, as well as a lot of the black interior plastics. You'll see the factory turbo graphic on this side is in pretty good shape with just a couple of identical wear spots. Down. On the front here, pretty standard rock chips and some rubs and scuffs on the lower valence. Again, these are all original paint. The hood graphic itself was replaced at one time when I got the truck. The factory one was about half oxidized off, so I was very careful in removing that without damaging any of the paint underneath, and we reapplied the factory graphic back on there. So as far as the exterior goes, everything is original with the exception of that hood graphic, but it is identical in shape, size, and color to the rest of the truck.
Okay, go.
All right, so we have a backseat perspective of the driver's view. Factory turbo wheel still has its emblem on it, a little bit of wear at the top there. Truck's showing just under 184,250 miles. In the back here is the heated center console, kind of a cool feature. Would give you the ability to get a little warm air coming in the back on cool nights. As we look at the back seat, in pretty good shape. Doesn't look like it was used that much, if at all. Headliner is also in pretty good shape. You'll notice in the middle there is a little tear, and the sunroof still is there with its original cover. In the back here, we can take a look at the factory carpet and plastic rear trim, all in very nice shape. Tailgate plastic has a little bit of wear on it and some marks, but all is still original. Inside the rear quarter pockets, we've pulled out the tools and the light. It would be really cool if someone could actually tell us where the light plugs into, because we've had a tough time figuring out what it is actually used for. On the side, the truck still retains all of its jacking tools and what appears to be some kind of liquid bladder. Above that, pretty cool as well, the lens for the side light is still there intact. And as mentioned in the ad, we added a couple of speakers in the back here. There was no damage done to the truck when installing these. The wire was just put in the least evasive way possible. Very easy to revert if you don't like it. Quick look at the original dash. There's no cap on this. It's had a cover on it for, from what I understand, most of its life. There's no cracks or chips or warps. It's in quite nice shape. Again, the carpet and everything in the truck is original as well. Taking a look at the period correct Toyota Technics Radio with the mixer on it. It was a really cool piece to source and get that working right and integrated with everything else to kind of complete the look on the inside. Factory altimeter there with elevation, pitch and yaw, I believe. We redid the center console armrest at some point with what appeared to be pretty close matching color correct vinyl. I know a commenter had asked about the power mirrors, and if you take a look just to the left of the steering wheel where the power mirror control is some sort of possibly dealer installed proximity alarm system. I just had the truck again at my mechanic's shop. Told him to kind of go through everything and address anything that needed to be addressed for a new owner to take ownership of it and just be able to turn the key and start enjoying it. We ended up doing some suspension work, just a regular tune-up, a little bit of rear brake work, and replaced the injectors. There was just the slightest miss with the truck, and I just wasn't happy with the way it ran. Even though it went down the road great and everything worked, I really wanted to eradicate that issue, so we went ahead and put new injectors in and went through everything, made sure all the vacuum lines were, in good shape and didn't have any cracks, anything of that nature. Alright, so we're going to take a drive in the 1986 4Runner. Start it up here for you. Fires right up. Idle's nice, about 800-900 RPMs before it comes down to temperature. You'll see on the dash here not only the tach, the digital tach, the speedo, our turbo gauge, and all of our auxiliary gauges over here are lit up and functioning. Factory radio works. You'll see I did replace the power antenna, so that is fully functional. Get the radio on here. Got so much to lose, got so much to prove. Sounds pretty good with the speakers in the back. As mentioned before, AC works great, and we need it here in Arizona. It is still probably over 100 degrees right now, and it's after 5 o'clock, so go ahead and get us going. We are in normal mode. I pretty much only drive this thing in normal. I've had it in power a few times, and truthfully it is much more fun to drive. It changes the shift points a little bit, and you get into boost a little bit earlier in the gears. You can see the turbo gauge goes as it spools as I let off, it decreases. You also see the oil pressure changing there as well. Front end's really solid on this thing. As I mentioned before, from the suspension and the bushings, we kind of went through it and tried to find anything that was just annoying, it was in need of replacing, or just didn't feel right. And that's just so this thing's comfortable and confident to drive whether you're on the road or off the road. Factory clock works. The dash bezel is all in nice shape and not discolored. Pretty common in Arizona or sunny state trucks to have a lot of the plastics on the dash start kind of cracking and deteriorating, and everything's in really nice shape. Even the bezel around the steering wheel center, and the emblem, everything's in nice shape. It's kind of hard to see unless the vehicle's in park, but there's a portion of this little underplate that covers the gap as the shifter's moving that is missing. I think it cracked at one point. Doesn't affect the usability of the truck at all, but it is there. We've got the three buttons here. We've got everything works. Rear window goes up and down. The switch works as well as from the key point, as we showed a little bit beforehand.